everybody. Welcome to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Tina Sutton with Miss Ginger Dots Designs. Tonight we are going to do a super fun fold card. I love this card because it looks so impressive. The person that receives it always goes, wow, how'd you make that? But the truth is, it's just a few fun folds, a few snips of paper, add a little bit of bling and stamps, and it's like you have magic. So I can't wait to share this with you. It's one of my favorite cards ever. Now, if you are watching me for the first time, or if you come and watch me every Wednesday night, you know I go live on Facebook every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Well, I'm here, but I'm not live. I'm pre-recorded. I am actually on my way down to the Keys to go lobster diving. We're going to get in the water and chase those lobsters. So I'm going to be gone for a few weeks, but I'm very committed to the channel, and I will be showing and sharing some ideas for the next couple of weeks. So be sure to check back Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock. If you like my project, please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. It really, really helps. And in the meantime, I just want to thank you for watching, but let's turn the camera around and let's get okay, let's make this fun fold card, the Double Trouble. So this is what the card looks like flat if you take it out of the envelope. Then when you open it up, it can stand up. It's hard to show on a video, but it stands up like this on an easel. And the side view looks like this. And then the back view looks like this. So this is a card. I gave you a sneak peek the other day when I showed you all of the online exclusive products. But what I want to do today is teach you how to make this actual card, because it's one of my favorites. It's just, anytime I give this card to anybody, they're super impressed. But we are going to use a totally different stamp set and make a very casual card. So this is an elegant card. Now let's make a cutesy card. So you don't have to worry about taking dimensions and writing notes, because the tutorial is on my website, or will be on my website by the time this video is over. So you can head over to MissGingerDots.com and download this tutorial. So what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to use these colors. I'm going to use some DSP, and I am going to use the blue and yellow. Anybody know what stamps I'm going to use yet? Any hints? We're going to do something so fun. We're going to use Fluffiest Friends. So we're going to use Fluffiest Friends. And then I couldn't decide for sentiments, so I picked a couple. I've got two sentiment sets. Simply Said, I'm going to use, I believe, the hello out of it. Now, I'm making this card for the first time, so this is what I think I'm going to do. What I actually do might be a different story. And then I just couldn't resist this, Be My Valentine. This is my friend Beth's favorite stamp because she's so into bees, but I just, when I saw this, You're as Sweet as Honey, I'm like, oh, we're going to use that. So you kind of maybe know where I'm going with this card. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and cut the base of the card first. So let me move everything out of the way as much as I can, get my paper trimmer out. Make sure you can see what I'm cutting and that I'm not off the camera, because I tend to do that sometimes. All right, we're going to start with the blue color. It is Azure Afternoon. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And this is 8.5 by 11. So we want it to be 8.5 by 5.5. I'm using this diagram right here to cut. Let's see. Maybe I can put that here. Oh my goodness, we got a dog fight in there. I don't know if you heard that. Dogs are eating and they got into a big fight over food. All right, so let's see if I can move this up a little bit. It's just hard to get the whole thing in, but I'm just basically cutting this in half. 8.5 by 5. And then I'm going to turn it this way, and I am going to score it on the 3. So I use my scoring blade, the 3, the 6, and 7 1/4. All right. My dogs are okay, by the way. My husband's in there. Sometimes Maggie gets a little attitude when it comes to food. I don't know. She was the runt of the litter, and she thinks everybody's going to eat her stuff. So, okay. We are going to fold this over, and I'm going to use my bone folder. I love this thing. I've never used one of these. Well, I've had one for years, but never used it on a regular basis, but I sure have been using it lately. Okay, it makes your creases so nice. So I am just folding it back and forth almost like an accordion. So then this is the shape that I get if you look at it sideways. So it should stand up just like that. All right, and then we are going to cut the base pieces that are going to go on the card. I want to do some layering of background and texture paper. So I'm going to choose this blue. I love this color. I think it's very pretty. And I don't think we need the hand out. And we are going to cut these pieces 5 1/4. And I want my stripes to go up and down. So let me cut this 5 1/4. And then I'm going to cut one piece 5 1/4 by 1. And 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. And I'm going to put this aside for now. Oh. Okay. Hopefully I cut these right, and that piece is going to go there. I like that blue with the blue. Isn't that pretty? I love our DSP, and I like the 6x6 sizes because you can get, for card making, they're awesome. All right, so it's going to go just like that. So let's go ahead and start gluing. I'm going to use the magic green glue. I like my green glue when I don't get it all over my fingers. So that's going to go right there. Glue that down really well. And then this piece is going to go right here. Whoopsie. The markers are running away. Yes, we're going to do some coloring. All right. So that is what the front of my card is going to look like. Now, we need to cut another piece of paper, but I've already cut that just to make it a little easier. And this piece is going to, this is like 8 1/2 by 3 1/2, scored at the 4 1/4. So that is eventually going to get glued there, and that is going to get glued right there. But we're not going to do that quite yet. But that is how that card goes together. So I'm going to put these aside and let that dry really well. And let's start working on the front of the card. So let's see. I went ahead and cut the mats. I've got all these sizes I've got the sizes on the instructions sheet. So we're going to have a smaller piece. Well, actually, this is how this is going to go. I actually need to cut another piece. I forgot. I'm going to need to cut a piece here, which is going to be the same as that. You don't see much of it, the gold star. So we need a background piece, and I believe that piece is going to be cut 3 1/4 by 4. So I decided, because guess which image we're going to use? We're going to use the bear. And the reason being we're going to use the bear is, if you don't know, I live in northern Florida. What size do I have to cut again? I forgot. 3 1/4 by 4. So 4. We have bears that live in our tree. They roam the streets in the middle of the day. They swim in our hot tubs and our pools. And so you never know when you're going to come home and see a bear. They usually don't bother us. I've had one growl at us, and we've seen them run down the street, but they've never chased us, or we've never felt endangered by them. But I always look to make sure they don't have a cub with them, because that's when they get protective. Okay, so that piece is going to get glued to the front of this card. And I chose the more solid don't know if you can see it, but it's actually like little, reminds me of little honey dots. Just reminds me of a bear, so it's like a honeycomb. So that's going to go there. Then this blue piece, you don't have to layer this much, but I like a lot of layering on my cards. I mean, I could just do this. I could just do a white piece on the front, but you know, all the DSP and everything, I just like layers. So it's up to you if you want to do as many layers as I'm doing. They don't, like the yellow doesn't even show that much, but to me, it just makes it pop. All right, so then we're not actually going to do any die cutting today. We're just going to do some stamping and coloring. I'm going to press this down really well and put this over here to dry as well. So we're going to decorate this piece, and I'm just going to do it flat. Now I could get all fancy dancy if I wanted to and do all kinds of things, but we're just going to kind of make this a simple card. So let me go ahead and get my bear stamp. Where are you, Mr. Bear? This is Mr. Bear. And I'm going to stick him down right here on my glass mat. This is another reason I like the glass mat. I'll show you. I can stick him down, get him straight, and then grab my block, which is right here, and stick that block right on him. And that way I get him on there straight. And so Mr. Bear is pretty big. And I'm going to stamp him kind of at the bottom right there. Now, the Mr. Bear has all these wonderful things. Thin cuts. We have like a, I don't know, a shape. We've got grass. We've got leaves. We've got more grass. We've got a honeycomb. Like, I could really go all crazy on this card. But I'm going to keep it rather simple because I think he's cute just the way he is. And, you know, some days we go fancy and do all the die cutting and do all the things. And sometimes you just need a quick card. So I'm going for a quick card tonight. I am using Memento ink. I love this ink. It will not, I can stamp it and pretty much color right away without it smearing. It's a very, very good ink pad. So if you're going to do any coloring or anything with markers, especially alcohol markers, I recommend the Memento ink pad. And I am going to grab, this is just cute, these little bees. We're going to use these little bees. I'm going to stamp them somewhere. And I want to use the hello for the front of a card. I was thinking about just a note or hello, but he's just so cute. I just want to do hello. So let me grab the hello again. Especially with the words. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. If you get it on straight, like I've lined the bottom of the hello up with the line on the mat, on my glass mat. I really love this about the glass mat. And then I line my block up with the lines, like the edges of the blocks. Then I know I get my stamp on that block the correct way. Or not the correct way, but I get it on straight. So we're just going to stamp hello right up here. Trying to remember to stay in the middle of the camera. Hello. All right, very good. Oopsie. And then let's stamp some bees. Because the bees love the honey, right? So we'll do some bees there. Cute, cute, cute. And some bees there. And there we go. All right, that's probably all the stamping I'm going to do. I'm not 100% sure about that, so I'm just going to put that stuff away and cover up my ink, and then we're going to do some coloring. So we're going to use the alcohol markers. I couldn't decide what brown to use. That always is difficult. So this is on my website. I think most of you have already downloaded it, but this is all of the Stampin' Blend colors. And it's a chart, and you color it in, and then I laminated mine. So it'll show you. This is Pecan Pie. So those are the two colors of brown. They're pretty close in color, but, you know, there is some difference. I should have grabbed Crumb Cake, and I might go do that in a minute for his snout. So, again, I'm using my color coach, which we've been talking about the last couple of videos. And as you can see, it doesn't, I want to use some yellow because of the honey and stuff. But I have decided to just use, like, it helped me decide what color brown to choose to do the bear. And I'm going to go pull Crumb Cake really quickly. I'm going to put this down and go grab it because I forgot I always do his snout and the bottom of his pads a different color. So I forgot to pull that color, so I'm going to pull that real quick. Just because I'm using this Color Coach doesn't mean I have to stay on this. I'm going to bring the yellow in. And I might even, I don't know. I was thinking about bringing pink in. I'm not sure if I probably won't use the pink, but I pulled it just in case. All right, let me get my Crumb Cake. Here's my Crumb Cake. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. We're all ready to go. So let's start with the Crumb Cake. Why not? We're going to do a snout. I start with the lightest color and just color it in. Then I'm going to go back and outline with the darker color. And that's a little more of a contrast than I wanted, so I'm going to come back and just kind of blend it out a little bit. And that's going to be it for that. All right. Then, for Mr. Bear's body, I'm going to just start coloring. This is going to take a little longer. As you see, I'm kind of sticking. Oh, I'm using the wrong color. What did I pick up? How did I do that? That's Crumb Cake. Crumb Cake. Crumb Cake. Okay. I was like, that looks the same. Okay, we're going to go back over it with light pecan pie. Make sure that's light. Yes, light. Okay. So I'm just kind of doing circular motions for the most part. I'm using the thicker end. We have a thick end and a thick, like a brush end. I don't brush, when you're doing this, you don't want to push down on the brush end too much because it'll ruin your tip. And if you're not good at coloring in the lines or you're going to get close, then I recommend using this edge, which is a harder edge and smaller. I think I'm going to do the inside of the ears pink, so I'm going to just kind of go around it. But for big areas, I like using, go ahead and do that, because it's, like I said, it's harder when you're on camera talking. So I'll just go ahead and outline them where I might go outside the lines with my brush. I still went outside the lines right there. Okay, now I'm going to go back where I can cover. And again, I'm just not pushing too heavy. I'm doing circular motions. And I'm going to try to color him in as evenly as I can. But if you ever look at a bear up close, which I've seen lots of bears, I've seen black bears. We don't have brown bears here. We have black bears. They're always kind of different color, their fur. Okay, I'm going to go back there with the hard side in a minute. Let me get him kind of colored in. All right, let me grab, especially around this toe. So stinking cute. I don't have my glasses on either, so that's making it difficult. It's hard when you're coloring on camera because you want to do it quickly. I don't want to keep you on here all night. But you also want to do a good job. Alright, so then I sit back and look and I'm like, okay, now I'm going to go with my dark edge where I want to get some dimension. Kind of going over these lines, choppy. Normally I just kind of outline, but these are kind of like bear marks or bear fur. So I'm kind of actually doing that choppy around the edge. Over here, kind of underneath his chin, just to give it some dimension. Really went out of the lines there, didn't I? That's okay. It's still gonna look cute. And then I'm gonna just kind of shade with this, going back with the light again, and just kind of shading. And as it dries, it will blend a little bit. Okay, so there's my bear. Now another tip to do is to take a really light color. Let me see if this is going to work. And you want to kind of ground him. So I'm going to go with the lighter crumb cake and kind of just outline his body. So it looks like, you see, so he's not floating in the air. That kind of just gave him a little dimension of a shadow of sitting on actual ground. And it also kind of blended where I colored outside of the lines. You can kind of blend that area, make it disappear. And it looks like he's just kind of sitting on the ground. Okay, and I think I want to shade this a little bit more. And just so there's not as much contrast. And I am going to pick up the pink. I'm going to do pink paw pads. So cute. Sometimes I do these black, but I'm going to do this pink. He's going to have sunburned feet. Worked on the hot pavement. I don't know. Maybe I should do it black. What do you think? Yeah, I don't like that pink. I like the pink on the ears, but I don't like that. So you know what? I'm going to go over with this pen. And I see a piece of that I missed. There we go. And right there. Okay. All right, let's pick up the blue that I've used on the background. I'm going to color the pot blue. The honey pot is going to be blue. Cute. Just makes me smile. And then I'm going to go back and shade it with the darker. Kind of pick up the light again and go back and blend. I like that. It's looking pretty good. And then let's put some honey in that pot. And I'm just going to go with the darker yellow here. Okay, there we go. And then I have my little bees. So let's go ahead and color the bees. And then I like to hit this with the journaling pen. Some of the bees just need some dotty dots. Looks cute. And then of course this card for me is Screaming Wacky Lines. So I'm just using a journaling pen, which is just a really thin black fine marker. This is one I have left over from Close to My Heart. I'm not sure. I don't think Stampin' Up! Has a thin black marker like this. But I have to do this. This is like my thing. To me, it just kind of finishes off the cards, like the edges. Unless you want to distress them or do something to the edge. This is just a quick way to do it. And you want your wacky lines to look wacky. And if you want to, you can go back and do doop-de-doos. I call them doop-de-doos, loop-de-loos. And then sometimes I add dots. This is a whimsical type card, so I think it was just kind of screaming that. So I don't know if you guys can see him. Look how cute. And then I'm going to glue this right here. All right. Got carried away with the glue. Let's spread it out a little bit. And we're going to flip this over. So we're going to have the same card with two totally different looks. Then this back piece, I hope I cut this the right size, yes. You make it whatever size you want, but this is like really where you write your note or whatever. So I just thought it was so cute, the sentiment out of the bee stamp, You're as Sweet as Honey. This is such a great set. I mean, not just for Valentine's Day. I wish they wouldn't have named it Be My Valentine, because it makes people think that, you know, that you get in your head it's a Valentine's stamp. Which, guess what? It's not going to fit that way. So guess what we're going to do? We're not going to cut. Sometimes I cut my stamps. We're just going to make this a, hold on, I need to get a block first of all before I do anything. And this is too big of a block, but this is all I have handy, so I'm going to have to be really careful when I stamp it. We're just going to think we're making a statement with this card. So we're going to stamp the sentiment this way, which there's nothing wrong with that. I do that sometimes. You can always make it work. All right, I know that I'm going to get that. Uh-oh. Here we go. All over my card. So I'm going to wipe this black ink off the edge of my stamp. Again, I'm using too big of a stamp. I would never normally do this, but I don't want to have to go across the room. And now I'm going to need to ink it up again. I don't want to have to go get another block, so I'm just going to very carefully stamp that right there. You're as sweet as honey. Oh, look how cute. And I'm going to put that right there. Or should I do it this way? No, you need to read from top to bottom, so I'm going to put it this way. And you know what? This is crying out for some bees. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but this is a little tip. I made a little smudge. So whenever I do a little smudge, I try to say, how can I disguise it? Look what I'm doing. You would never know there was a smudge there, would you, if I hadn't told you? So cute. And then I'll just write whoever I send it to a little note right there. They will never know that I smudged. I love this guy. Look how cute. Such a fun little card. Okay, now where's my base? My base is here. So I want to glue this in the middle right here. So the reason I would normally not have this paper on my glass mat, the reason I have it here is because I have a light on my camera and it glares, so that is why. And if I had my glass mat, I would be trying to center this a little bit better. All right, I think, there we go. This a little bit. Make sure my edges are lined up. And voila, look how cute. And then if I want to embellish it, I have some. These are Tinsel Gems 4-pack. So let's see. I think maybe, uh-oh, can't get these out. Oh, shoot. I like the blue. I don't know. What color should I use? Uh-oh. Blue or yellow? I think I like the blue. So if we want to add a few little dots, we can. And why not? I need my putty stick, but my putty stick is on the other table, which it's not supposed to move off of here, but oh, come on, you're being stubborn. Shoot. The glue. Oh my gosh, I'm making a mess. This little gem has a mind of its own. And I don't like that because they look like they're right there. There we go. There's two. And we'll maybe do one. I don't know where to go with it. Maybe one right there by the hello. All right, so there you go. A very simple but fun card. And you give it to somebody and they will be like, oh, how did you make that? So let me show you the two next to each other so you can kind of see. And again, go to my website, MissGingerDots.com, right here, and you can download the pattern. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy creating.